it broke my heart when I read this statistic. It's the most troubling statistic I've read in a long time. It began by me reading an article about the New York State Senate passing the Reproductive Health Act by a vote of 38 to 24. This was earlier this week on the 46th anniversary of the Supreme Court decision in Roe v. Wade, which found basically that a woman has a constitutional right to have an abortion. The bill, the Reproductive Health Act, had already passed the state assembly by 92-47 vote, and it will be signed into law by Democrat Governor Andrew Cuomo. As part of the language in this bill, it says that late-term abortions, and here's the quote, when the patient is within 24 weeks from the commencement of pregnancy. That's a late-term abortion. Some of the language is this, and this is, and we're talking about life. We're talking about human life. Here's when things should be considered, or here are the factors that the New York General Assembly is saying should be considered in the Reproductive Health Act. Physical, emotional, psychological, familial, and the woman's age relevant to the well-being of the patient. In other words, abortion will be available to women essentially on demand up to the point of birth. The RHA, the Reproductive Health Act, will also decriminalize abortion, moving it from the state's criminal code to its public health code. It is the most liberal abortion policy America has ever seen. That doesn't bother me as much as this. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, most recent abortion surveillance and survey report for the year 2017, New York City performed 544 abortions for every 1,000 live births. 1 of every 3 children in New York City were aborted. That's mind-boggling. That's unbelievable to
Whoa.
1 in 3 unborn babies are aborted in New York City. It also means that New York City's abortion rate makes up more than half of the city's birth rate. The CDC reported that 63,646 abortions occurred in New York City during 2017. Think of that. Get your arms around that number. For every 1,000 babies born in New York City, there are 544 aborted. You want me to put a cherry on top of this Sunday? 87% are paid for by the federal government in some way, shape, or form. And we're worried about Trump being president. I mean, if you're concerned about Donald Trump being president and not concerned about this, we'll get the country we deserve. I'll assure you of that. And I'm not an extremist on many of these issues. I'm really not. But there are certain things that I read and come across that trouble me to my core. And I think of the people who are so deeply distraught and troubled by Donald Trump being president that whistle past the graveyard when they read these kind of statistics. I want to say that again. For every 1,000 live births, babies born in New York City in 2017, there were 544 who were aborted. And 87% of those abortions were paid by with taxpayer dollars. And you're really worried what Donald Trump may or may not do to the country. Wow. Take a break. Back in a minute. CBE is our sponsor. CBESC is the website. Good Morning PD Live 95.